Guys, thank you so much for joining me for another video. Before we get started on this week's My Friend Finally Watches, I just wanted to address something that happened last week. A lot of people were commenting about like Holden talking a lot and like them not being able to watch the movie. I mean, I get it. That's your opinion, but I just wanted to touch on the fact that maybe it was my editing or maybe it was the fact that we were just having a lot of fun with the movie.
I think we were just wanting to have fun with Underworld last week, because when Jen and I started doing My Girlfriend Watches Star Wars, we implemented like a lot more commentary throughout. So I think that's what we were doing. We were just trying to have fun with it. But if this is like really serious and you want us to just shut up and just really watch it, we can do that too. We'll have a few comments, I guess, throughout. But that's why I wasn't trying to be like a douche or anything about it. After thinking about Underworld for like the past week or so, I think my feelings on it, I guess, were similar to how they were last week. Maybe it's just because it felt very early 2000s to me. I just sort of enjoyed it for what it was, and that was about it. I'm curious to see where they go with everything, but I'm not like, Underworld is so amazing. I'm not really there. I don't know if I'm going to be there. I am looking forward to it. You said this one was a little bit shorter than the first one? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm looking forward to it.
So Ashley, you saw Underworld 2 in theaters. What do you remember about it?
I remember a lot of it. There's one specific scene in the movie that made me really uncomfortable at the time, because I was with my best friend and the guy I liked at the time and his parents, because I was too young to actually be in the theater by myself. But other than that, I really liked the movie.
So I know what scene you're talking about. It's not too bad. It's just I remember you were probably a lot younger, so it's probably why it affected you that way. But you guys will see what it is. So we're just going to get into it and see what happens. We'll see you at the end of the movie.
Your brother must be stopped. It ends tonight.
Victor, you must not be harmed. Give me the torch.
Oh. Is that the brother like him? Mm-hmm. Whoa.
He was not to be harmed. Place him in my charges, we agreed, or you will pay for your deceit. Imprisonment for all time.
Whoa. Jesus. Oh, wow.
You saved my life. I wasn't ready to die. It was never his cover.
Get away from me! Don't check it out!
Oh, that's cool. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, nice.
Dead or alive, you will give me what I want. He's a hybrid, isn't he?
Yes.
Oh, the sun. They haven't touched on that at all yet. Oh, God. Oh, they did. They did in the first one. He's a lot more useful in this movie. Mm-hmm. Oh, jeez. Oh, that's cool.
Take this.
God, Jesus. Wow.
I knew it was
You don't scare me, Celine.
Well, we're gonna have to work on that.
There's Satan.
You're Alexander Corvinus. You could have stopped all of this.
Oh God. Wow. Ugh.
Pity it beats within such a fool. You will fail. If you want Marcus, you'll need Alexander's help. Be still, brother.
Why would he leave the key there? Oh.
Michael, you're unique.
You alright?
Nope. What? Jeez. I like how they're fighting like the ancestors of both of them. Oh. Oh. Oh gosh. Oh. Oh. There it is. Oh, nice. A super vampire.
We just finished Underworld Evolution. I really like this movie. I think it capitalized a lot on what the first one kind of didn't fool with or didn't have time to explain. I did see this one in theaters. I did not see the first one in theaters. This movie, I think I like it as much as I did the first time I watched it. I think it's all right. Ashley, what did you think about Underworld Evolution?
I liked it. Going back, I actually liked the first one better than the second one. I think it had a lot better special effects in the first one. Like, the stuff was more practical as opposed to a lot of CGI and things like that. Probably because the technology has changed so much. I like this one, and I did see this one in theaters, but looking back on it now, I think I like the first one better.
Okay. Holden, what did you think about the second movie in this franchise?
I think I liked this one more than I liked the first one. My issues with the first one were I didn't really believe the Michael-Kate Beckinsale relationship. I felt like it was kind of shoehorned in. There was so much exposition, and I get that, so they had to set up like who they were, but I would much rather have seen that kind of like in flashback sequences or some storytelling device as opposed to just Kate Beckinsale sort of reading, you know, or explaining what was going on. I think that the action in this one was a little bit more over the top than the first one, with the exception of maybe like that opening train sequence. It was like very Matrixy, they're like jumping on off the walls and stuff. I thought the action was better. Pacing in this one was pretty good. I liked how the stakes were raised from like the ancestor of the vampires and the ancestor of the lichens doing their thing. I liked that they developed the Michael and Celine relationship more. I felt like that was the biggest thing missing out of the first one for me in terms of like even believability. I was like, if everything happening here, I just don't see you guys, like why y'all even like each other. You have said two things to one another, but I felt like that they fixed that in this. The only thing I know about like any of this, I remember when the trailer for Rise of the Lycans was coming out. Is that the third one?
That's the next one, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I remember when that came out. I'm curious to see where they're gonna go. I feel like the next one would make a reasonable conclusion, but I guess if there's several other, well, one's a prequel you said, but I feel like one more to wrap it up would be appropriate at this point, because they've already touched on like their history and the future and everything. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they end it.
You know, I actually didn't think about that. I think going back, since I've seen the movies already, a trilogy would have been more appropriate. I think the prequel would have been cool, but I do like the idea that one more movie would have been, you know, the full circle. And knowing that there's like 2 more movies after the prequel, it's just interesting. I didn't think of it that way. I would give this movie from 1 out of 10, especially watching it now. I'd probably give it around like a 6.5 to a 7, maybe like a 6.7. I enjoyed it a lot. I think the story was really cool. I like the fact that from like a role player perspective, someone who likes role-playing games, you can definitely take a lot of this source material and use it in like a campaign for like a D&D or like even a vampire campaign, a World of Darkness campaign. I think this movie is heavily influenced by the World of Darkness, by White Wolf games. So I definitely enjoy that aspect of it. I really do. Ashley, what would you rate Underworld Evolution from 1 to 10? 10 being the best and 1 being totally unwatchable.
As far as a rating, I'd have to say I'd give this a 6. I actually enjoyed the first one and the story better. It was more of like a mystery for me, whereas this one was very predictable. Even though I've seen it a bunch of times, it's still, you know, it's been a little bit since I've watched it, so it was a little bit more predictable. Like, you can kind of pretty much know what was going to happen throughout the whole movie.
So like that predictability of like, I know Holden, you mentioned that the helicopter blades were going to be used at some point.
Yeah. Oh, just because something's predictable doesn't mean that like I don't like it, I guess. Like, look at Titanic. I mean, we knew that the boat was going to sink at the end, but it's more of the journey, I think. To me, this feels like a movie I really enjoy. I enjoy watching it, but it pretty much ends here. Like, I'm not going to be thinking about like, oh man, I wonder what's going to happen in the next one. I'm just sort of along for the ride, and I enjoy it for that. Kind of like the Mummy remake with Tom Cruise, and kind of like that Dracula
Untold.
Untold, yeah. Like, I remember enjoying them, and it pretty much ending there. I wasn't like dying to see the next one. I would probably give this one probably a strong 6.5, a really weak 7, in that range. Like, it's enjoyable, but that's about the extent of it for me.
All right, so hopefully we didn't talk a lot through this one. I know that offended a lot of people. In the first video, in the comment section, they were voicing their opinions about how we talked a lot and we were making a lot of jokes and stuff. Looking back, I think it's the way I edited the first one. I think I just took all the funny parts and kind of compiled them together. So it kind of felt like we just talked through the whole movie. We really didn't. But hopefully I will address that in this video and it won't feel that way. Let me know either way in the comments below what you guys think. Hopefully it's a better experience for those that didn't like the first movie, but we are going to be moving forward and watching Rise of the Lycans, which is the next one. I think Holden's going to like it just from its own perspective, not as a part of like, you know, a continuation, because it is a prequel. I want to thank you guys for watching and stopping by. If you like what you see and you're not familiar with the channel, consider subscribing. Remember to leave a like on the video. It'll help me out a lot. Make sure to follow Holden on his YouTube channel at Holden Hardman. That's the name of his channel. And he has a Patreon. He has a lot of good stuff going on over there. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.